Sure, it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. The devil a man was prouder than he when he held it in his hand. He'd lead the band on Paddy's Day, then twirl it round his mid. And devil a bit, we'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit. Sure, with the same old shillelagh me father.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Wow, I didn't even have to do anything. So this is our first concert for the spring. And so I welcome you. I'm glad you could join us. I'm Terry Stano, the director of the Thayer Public Library, and I'm very excited today to have David with us. I know David for many years now.
A long time.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. So we're thrilled to kick off our musical journey with talented David Polansky and a very special celebration of St. Patrick's Day. David's lively performance will leave you feeling energized and joyful. Let the music and the festivities begin.
Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you. This is great. Thank you. I have not played at the Braintree Library for a while now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a holiday program before COVID. You came. Holiday.
So it feels like a very long time. And so before I begin the Erin Go Bra program, I'm going to play a song that suggests it's been a long, long time. And get your voices warmed up with this, because I'm sure that everybody here that's older than, I have to be careful with this. I know, I was going to say, if you're older than 30, you probably know this song. And so you guys are excused. It's been a long, long time. It's been a long, long time. I heard everybody singing. It sounds pretty good. Now, the other announcement I have to make is I haven't done this show since last March. And I'm old. So I may have to read some stuff from my cheat sheet, but I want to start with an ancient Gaelic blessing that was translated into English. And it goes like this: May those who love us, and those that don't love us, may God turn their hearts. And if he doesn't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles so we'll know them by their limping. And now we're off. I'm going to play a song whose chorus everybody in here knows. Well, if you're over 30. And yet there's a verse that nobody seems to know. And the song became famous after it appeared first in a Broadway musical called Little Nellie Kelly. And I have to ask if anybody here has ever heard of the musical Little Nellie Kelly. No. Nobody? No, it was a flop. It later became a movie, and Jimmy Cagney and Judy Garland were both in the movie. It was the only movie that Judy Garland's character ever died in. And when the movie started, Judy Garland was Nellie Noonan, and she was the daughter of a malcontent Irishman named Michael Noonan, and it all started in Ireland. And Michael Noonan said to his daughter, Nellie, that if she married Jerry Kelly, the love of her life, he would never speak to her again. So of course she married Jerry Kelly. And the two of them moved to New York, so Jerry Kelly and now Nellie Kelly. Michael Noonan was distraught. He couldn't stand not being near his daughter, who he never would speak to again. But he would speak to her again. He moved to New York. Judy Garland, Nellie Kelly, died in childbirth, giving birth to little Nellie Kelly. And in the movie, when little Nellie Kelly grows up, she is also played by Judy Garland, who looks strangely like Nellie Kelly. Anyway, the one redeeming feature of the movie was this song, and you guys don't cheat by looking at the title, because you can see it on the, okay. Let's see if anybody knows what the song is. Here's the verse. Oh, I woke me up this morning and I heard a joyful song from the throats of happy Irishmen, 100,000 strong. Sure it was the Hibernian Brigade, lining up for to start the big parade. So I fetched me Sunday bonnet and the flag I love so well, and I bought myself a shamrock just to wear in me lapel. Don't you know that today's March 17? It's the day for the wearing of the green. What's the song?
When Irish Eyes are Smiling.
Nope. It's a great day for the Irish. It's a great day for fair. The sidewalks of New York are thick with blarney. For sure you'd think New York was old Killarney. It's a great day for the shamrock, for the flags in full array. We're feeling so inspirish, that's because for all the Irish it's a great, great day. It's a great day for the Irish. It's a great day for fair. Begosh, there's not a cop to stop a raiding. Be gory, all the cops are out parading. It's a great day for the shamrock, for the flags in full array. And as we go a-swinging, every Irish heart is singing. It's a great, great day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Who said when Irish eyes are smiling before? Irish Eyes Are Smiling was written by Chauncey Alcott. And Chauncey Alcott, whose mother was born in Ireland, was an American stage actor, producer. He wrote scores for Irish plays in the early 1900s. When Irish Eyes Are Smiling was actually written in 1912 for a show called Isle of Dreams. It's interesting because the Irish immigrants that came to this country and could produce a play called Isle of Dreams were really overlooking a lot of bad experiences that had happened to them for I don't even know. I mean, even before the famine, the British occupation, and it was not an easy place to live. But I was going to start Irish Eyes Are Smiling, which also has a verse with the verse, but I just gave it away. I can't stump you with the verse. But there are two verses to it, and it goes like this. There's a tear in your eye, and I'm wondering why, for it never should be there at all. With such power in your smile, sure a stone you'd beguile, so there's never a teardrop should fall. When your sweet lilting laughter's like some fairy song, and your eyes twinkle bright as can be, you should laugh all the while, and all other times smile. Now smile that sweet smile for me. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. But when Irish eyes are smiling, it will steal your heart away. For your smile is a part of the love in your heart, and it makes even sunshine more bright. Like the linnet's sweet song, crooning all the day long, comes your sweet laughter and light. For the springtime of life is the sweetest of all. there is ne'er a real care or regret. So while springtime is ours, throughout all of youth's hours, let us smile each chance that we get. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. But when Irish eyes are smiling, it will steal your heart away. Thank you. Thank you so much. Apropos of nothing, I heard a great joke. This husband and wife had been married for 63 years. They were still both very much in love. And they were both very hard of hearing at this point. And they were sitting on their front porch holding hands with one another. And the husband leaned over to his wife and he said, "I'm proud of you." And the wife leaned back to her husband and she said, "I'm tired of you too." Okay, back to the music. This next song is from a musical called Finian's Rainbow. And Finian's Rainbow was about an elderly Irishman named Finian who moves to the southern United States with his daughter Sharon. In their possession is a stolen pot of gold that was taken from a leprechaun. And they decide that if they bury the gold somewhere near Fort Knox, the gold, like other things that you can put in the ground, will germinate and grow more gold. I don't know how the story ended. I really don't know anything about Finian's Rainbow, but I know that a great, beautiful ballad called How Are Things in Glockamora came out of it. And it's just a really, really pretty song. There was a debate about whether there actually is a place called Glockamora, but it turns out there is. Yeah, you were shaking your head this way. Yeah, no, it's one of these, not one of those. How are things in Glockamora? Is that little brook still leaping there? Does it still run down to Donny Cove? Through Killybegs, Kilkerry and Kildare? How are things in Glockamora? Is that willow tree still weeping there? Does the lassie with the twinkling eye come whistling by? And does she walk away sad and dreamy there, not to see me there? So I ask each weeping willow and each brook along the way, and each lass that comes a whistling to Raleigh. How are things in Glockamora this fine day? So I ask each weeping willow and each brook along the way, and each lass that comes a whistling to Raleigh. How are things in Glockamora this fine day? Thank you. Thank you. I've been playing trumpet ever since I was 9 years old. I started in 1954. And when I was in ninth grade, I was in a band with a couple of kids at Winthrop High School. They were 2 years older than I was. And so we would play high school dances and things like that. In 1961, one of the kids went to Tufts University and started a band. And at that point, I was a junior in high school, and he was a freshman at Tufts. And they needed a trumpet player, and they couldn't find anybody at Tufts. And he said to his classmates at Tufts, well, I know this kid from Winthrop that plays trumpet, and he's still in high school, and they were rolling their eyes. Anyway, long story short, I joined the band, and as a junior in high school, I started going to fraternity parties, and having the time of my life as a junior in high school with these freshmen from Tufts. And at the end of 1962 academic year, the summer of 1962, the band got a job. Some of you might remember this place, at the Cliff Hotel in Situate on Minot Beach. Yeah, you mouthed it. And the first night we were there, we were playing at the Bamboo Lounge. The first night that we started there, this very intimidating giant came up to us and said, do you guys know Southie is my hometown? And I said, no, we don't. And he said, well, I'm coming back Monday, and you better know it. So that's how I learned Southie is my hometown, and I'm going to sing it for you right now. I had an argument the other day with a guy from Oskaloo. He was bragging about his old hometown, says I told him what to do. I got hot right under the collar to that scholar. I did holler. I was born down on A Street, raised up on B Street. Southie is my hometown. There's something about it, permit me to shout it. They're the tops for miles around. We got doctors and lawyers, teachers and toyers, men from the old county down. Say they'll take you and break you, but they'll never forsake you. In Southie, my hometown. It's a great song. It's great memories too. That we went back to the Cliff Hotel for the 2 following years after that, and it was idyllic. I mean, we played from 9 to 1, and 6 nights a week, and we lived at the hotel. We ate with the guests, and when we weren't playing during the day, we were on the beach. And by the end of that summer, I was the color of this piano. It was I just, and everybody around town that had parties or boats wanted, you guys want to come to a party? Oh, by the way, bring your instruments, So, but it was fine. This next song, when it first came out, at least according to Wikipedia, it was sometimes seen as a comical song. I don't see it as a comical song at all. It's Johnny, I Hardly Knew Ya, and it's about a man who returns from war to the woman with whom he had a child, and then ran off and joined the military. And it's not happy stuff. I can see where, if you didn't know what was going on, it might have been humorous, but it's to the tune of When Johnny Comes Marching Home. I think you're going to know it. While going the road to sweet Athy, hurroo, hurroo. While going the road to sweet Athy, hurroo, hurroo. While going the road to sweet Athy, a stick in me hand and a drop in me eye, a doleful damsel I heard cry, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, hurroo, hurroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. With your drums and guns and guns and drums, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer, Johnny, I hardly knew ya. And where are your eyes that were so mild, hurroo, hurroo. Where Where are your eyes that were so mild? Hurroo, hurroo. Where are your eyes that were so mild? When my heart you so beguiled, why did you run from being the child? Johnny, I hardly knew ya. And where are your legs that used to run? Hurroo, hurroo. Where are your legs that used to run? Hurroo, hurroo. Where are your legs that used to run when you went for to carry a gun? Indeed, your dancing days are done. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. I'm happy for to see you home, hurroo, hurroo. I'm happy for to see you home, hurroo, hurroo. I'm happy for to see you home, all from the island of Saloon, so low in flesh, so high in bone. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hurroo, hurroo. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hurroo, hurroo. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, you'll have to be put with a bowl out to beg. You're an armless, boneless, chickenless egg, oh Johnny, I hardly knew ya. They're rolling out the guns again, hurroo, hurroo. They're rolling out the guns again, hurroo, hurroo. Oh, they're rolling out the guns again, they're rolling out the guns again, but they never will take our sons again. Johnny, I'm swearing to ya. Not a happy song. Thank you. You know this song? I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen. Do you know anything about the history of I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen? It turns out that it was written by a fellow who was living in Illinois with his wife. And his wife missed the place of her birth tremendously, and he decided that he was going to write a song for her about taking her back to the place of her birth. His name was Thomas Westendorf. He was German, and the place of his wife's birth was Manhattan. And his wife's name was Jennifer. I don't know. Okay.
My father and my mother were both born in Ireland, but not in the same area.
Yeah.
My father was born in Montreal.
Okay.
My mother was born in Paris. My
Yes.
father was born in anyway, I've been there. So he would come home from work or something like that and start singing, I'll take you home again, Kathleen.
Well.
After a while, she said, oh, well, crying out loud.
Okay, well, I wonder how Jennifer reacted to the fact that Thomas Westendorf wrote a song, I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen, anyway. So somehow the song had a flavor to it that was very compatible with so much of the Irish music that had been written around that time, which was, by the way, 1875. So here's the song. It's a very pretty song. I'll take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been, since first you were my bonny bride. The roses all have left your cheek, I've watched them fade away and die. Your voice is sad whene'er you speak, and tears bedim your loving eyes. Oh, I will take you back, Kathleen, to where your heart will feel no pain. And when the fields are fresh and green, I will take you to your home again. Thank you. Thank you so much. This song was made famous by the Clancy brothers. It was also recorded by the Kingston Trio, the Highwaymen, and it is the story of a woman of means who falls in love with the Gypsy Rover, and her father, she runs away with the Gypsy Rover, and her father comes looking for her, and eventually finds her, only to find out that the Gypsy Rover is also a nobleman. And so it has a very happy ending for the father and the girl. A gypsy rover came over the hill, down through the valley so shady. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Howdy-do, howdy-do-di-day, howdy-do, howdy-day, oh. He whistled and he sang till the greenwood rang, and he won the heart of a lady. She left her father's castle gate, she left her own fine lover, she left her servants and her estate to follow her gypsy rover. She left behind her velvet gown and shoes of Spanish leather. They whistled and they sang till the greenwood rang as they rode off together. Howdy-do, howdy-do-di-day, howdy-do, howdy-day, oh. They whistled and they sang till the greenwood rang, and they rode off together. Last night she slept on a goose feather bed, with silk and sheets for her cover. Tonight she'll sleep on the cold, cold ground beside her gypsy lover. Her father saddled up his fastest steed and roamed the valley all over, sought his daughter at great speed and the gypsy whistling rover. Howdy-do, howdy-do-di-day, howdy-do, howdy-day, oh. They whistled and they sang till the greenwood rang, and they rode off together. He came at last to a mansion fine, down by the river Clady, and there was music and there was wine for the gypsy and his lady. He is no gypsy, my father, she cried, but lord of those lands all over, and I shall stay till my dying day with my whistling gypsy rover. Oh, howdy-do, howdy-do-di-day, howdy-do, howdy-day, oh. They whistled and they sang till the greenwood rang. I don't know how it ends. Thank you so much. Thank you. When I mentioned that that I grew up in Winthrop and I lived at 14 Irwin Street, that's not terribly relevant, except that my best friend Paul McCarthy lived at 20 Irwin Street, which was a couple of houses up, needless to say. Excuse me. And I've been in love with the song Danny Boy ever since I was a little kid. And when I was getting to a point on trumpet where I could play it, I would practice it. And this was, 1955, 1956. So nobody had air conditioning. And so when the weather got decent, everybody's windows were open. And if somebody was practicing an instrument in my neighborhood, you could hear them. And I failed to mention that Paul McCarthy's grandmother, who had come over from Ireland, lived at 22 Irwin Street, right next to Paul McCarthy. And one day, I was playing Danny Boy, and all of a sudden, who is it? It's Paul McCarthy. Come on in, Paul. What's going on? "You gotta stop playing that song." I said, "It's a beautiful song. What's the matter with it?" He said, "My grandmother's on her front porch and she's crying her eyes out." Anyway, I told this story once. I do a lot of work at assisted living places, nursing homes. I told this story once, and this had to be 35 years ago, but I told the Paul McCarthy story, and a little voice at the back of the room said, "Paul McCarthy's grandmother was Ann Creedon." My mouth dropped open. How did you know that? Turns out that the woman in the audience was Paul McCarthy's aunt or something, and she was somehow related to Ann Creedon. And it's a small world. I once did a show. I had an Aunt Sylvia when I was a little kid, and my Aunt Sylvia played piano, and she lived in Springfield. And there was no Mass Pike, so when we would go to Springfield, it would take 3 hours to get there, and we would always stay over. And after dinner, we would always sit around the piano and sing. And I was doing a show somewhere, and a little voice said, "How do you know all these old songs?" And I told the Aunt Sylvia story, and the woman said, "Was that Sylvia Radner?" I said, "Yeah, how do you know that?" And this woman struggled to her walker, came up, and the tears were rolling down her face. She grabbed my hand and she said, I'm gonna lose it now. She said, "Sylvia Radner was my best friend." And I got her name, and I had a brother until just this past October, he was 7 years older than I was, so he remembers stuff from when I was a little kid that I don't remember. And I got this woman's name, and I said, "Eddie, who was so-and-so?" And he said, "That was Aunt Sylvia's best friend. Where did that come from?" And the other thing that the woman said to me was, "Is your mother's name B?" And my mother was Beatrice. And she said, "Well, I'll tell you something." She said, "I met you when you were 2 years old at your Aunt Sylvia's house." Anyway, here's Danny Boy, the way I learned it as a little kid, and then we'll do the lyrics afterwards. Thank you. Thank you. It's the lyrics are beautiful. The second verse is very sad, but I can see why Ann Creedon might have been crying her eyes out, although it might have just been my trumpet playing. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you, must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow, so. And if you come when all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear the soft you tread above me, and all my dreams will warm and sweeter be. If you'll not fail to tell me that you love me, I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. Thank you. I'm wrong key. You know what happens if you try to sing a song in the wrong key? I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. First is for sunshine, the second for rain. Third are the roses that bloom in the lane. Oh honey, no need explaining. The one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. Thank you. Does the name Walter O'Brien ring any bells? Okay, Walter O'Brien ran for mayor of Boston in 1949. He was running against James Michael Curley, and who was an institution. And at the time, the MTA, now the MBTA, but the Metropolitan Transit Authority, had just instituted something called an exit fare on the trolleys. So you could get on a train, but if you went a certain distance, you had to pay to get off the train. When Walter O'Brien was running for mayor, one of the planks on his platform was to reform all of the MTA fare structures, because there was a booklet that the MTA published so that people could understand how to pay their fares. It was apparently pretty complicated. And Walter O'Brien hired various songwriters to write campaign songs for him. And he then put trailers on the back of trucks with bands on the trailers, and they would go through Boston neighborhoods playing these campaign songs that had been written. And he was actually fined by the incumbent administration for disturbing the peace. But one of the songs that survived was Charlie on the MTA. And it goes like this. Oh, let me tell you of a story about a man named Charlie on a tragic and fateful day. He put 10 cents in his pocket, kissed his wife and family, went to ride on the MTA. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever 'neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Charlie handed in his dime at the Kendall Square station, and he changed for Jamaica plane. When he got there, the conductor told him one more nickel. Charlie couldn't get off of that train. Well, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever 'neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Charlie's wife goes down to the Scully Square station every day at 2:15. And through the open window she hands Charlie a sandwich as the train goes rumbling through. Why didn't she just hand Charlie a nickel? I think something was going on at Charlie's house that she didn't want Charlie to know about. Did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever 'neath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Now you sit citizens of Boston, don't you think it's a scandal how the people have to pay and pay? Fight the fare increase, vote for Walter O'Brien, and get Charlie off the MTA, or else he'll never return, no, he'll never return, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever beneath the streets of Boston, he's the man who never returned. Thank you. I'm glad Terry came back because I have a library joke. This guy walked into a library and walked up to the front desk, and the librarian said, "May I help you, sir?" And he said, "Yes, I would like a hamburger, French fries, and a Coke." And the librarian said, "Sir, this is a library." And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like a hamburger, French fries." Okay. This next song was written in 1947. I'm kind of surprised. It was popularized by Bing Crosby, who asked my mother out, by the way. I could have been a Crosby. She turned him down. My Aunt Sylvia, who I mentioned earlier, and my mother, my Aunt Sylvia's sister, were at a Bing Crosby concert in 1930-something at a hotel in Boston. And after the show, they were sitting in the lobby, and Bing walked through, and my mother was really a knockout. And he came over and asked her out, and she said, "Nope." So anyway, has anybody here ever read the memoir that Bing Crosby's kids wrote about Bing Crosby, about growing up with Bing Crosby as a dad? It's like, wasn't nice. Okay, but he recorded this song and it was huge. If you ever go across the sea to Ireland, then maybe at the closing of your day, you can sit and watch the moon rise over Claddagh, or watch the sun go down on Galway Bay, just to hear again the ripple of the trout stream, the women in the meadow making hay, or to sit beside a turf fire in a cabin and watch the barefoot gossames as they play. Oh, the breeze is blowing o'er the sea from Ireland, are perfumed by the heather as they blow, and the women in the uplands dinging praties speak a language that the strangers do not know. Oh, the strangers came and tried to teach us their ways. They blamed us just for being who we are, but they might as well go chasing after moonbeams, or light a penny candle from a star. And if there's going to be a life hereafter, and something tells me sure there's going to be, I will ask my God to let me make my heaven in the dear old land across the Irish Sea. Thank you. Thank you so much. This next song is about a shillelagh. And it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. He knows it. And Bing Crosby actually added a verse to this. This was written in 1927. I've got to look at my notes. It was written by a guy named Pat White. It was recorded by Bill Murray, Bing Crosby, Dennis Day, a whole lot of people. But Bing added a verse about the stereotypical Irish job track of becoming a policeman, and I'm going to add that verse after I do the original. And the original just goes like this. Sure, it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. The devil a man was prouder than he when he held it in his hand. He'd lead the band on Paddy's Day, then twirl it round his mid. And devil a bit, we'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit. Sure, with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, he'd go, as fast as they got up, big Ori, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he'd use it on me to make me understand. Sure, it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. Oh, 50 years ago, me father left old Erin Shore. He landed here a shillelagh in hand and dibbled a little bit more. He got a job, then got a wife, then got a family. And then he died and left his old shillelagh stick to me. And it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. And devil a man was prouder than he when he held it in his hand. He'd lead the band on Paddy's Day and twirl it round his mitt. And dibble a bit, we'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit. And with the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, big Ori, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he'd use it on me to make me understand. Sure, it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. I'm going on the police force, it's the only thing to do. Instead of having one night stick, big Ori, I'll have two. If there's a fight, I'll be alright, nobody bothers me, because I have the old shillelagh me father gave to me. And it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. And divil a man was prouder than he when he held it in his hand. He'd lead the band on Father's Day and lick round his mitt. And divil a bit, we'd laugh at it, or Dad would have a fit. And it's the same old shillelagh me father could lick a dozen men. As fast as they got up, big Ori, he'd knock 'em down again. And many's the time he'd use every need to make me understand. Sure, it's the same old shillelagh me father brought from Ireland. Thank you. I'm trying to intersperse songs that have a little lilt and a little humor in them. With songs that really talk about how hard it was living in Ireland during, certainly when this song was written in the 1800s. And the song is called The Fields of Athenry. I didn't learn it until recently, but it's a tough one. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling, Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely in the fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely in the fields of Athenry. By a lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star falling, as a prison ship sailed out against the sky. For she lived to hope and pray for her love in Botany Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Low lie the fields of Athenry, once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely in the fields of Athenry. Molly Malone. Molly Malone, it turns out that I'm sure there were probably lots of Molly Malones. I don't know if they were all fishmongers or if their parents were all fishmongers. But it turns out that the Dublin, I'm cheating again, I've got to read this. The Dublin Millennium Commission in 1988 endorsed claims made for a Mary Malone who died on the 13th of June in 1699 and proclaimed the 13th of June to be Molly Malone Day. So remember that this coming June. Okay. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, that's where I first met sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and sure 'twas no wonder, for so were her mother and father before, and they wheeled their wheelbarrows through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. You know what happened to Molly? She died of a fever. But, you know, the next line is, and no one could save her. So we have to make fever rhyme. So she died of a fever. Okay. She died of a fever, and no one could save her. And that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. But her ghost wheels the barrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Thank you. I don't know if I should sing this next song. Does anybody know who Tom Lehrer is? Tom Lehrer wrote a lot of controversial songs, and there are a couple of verses here that I'm not sure are great for KIDS. I'll sing a couple of the verses, okay? And if it gets, the kids are all saying, I know what he spelled. Okay. About a maid I'll sing a song, sing rickety-tickety-tin. About a maid I'll sing a song, she didn't have her family long. Not only did she do them wrong, she did every one of them in, she did every one of them in. One morning in a fit of pique, sing rickety-tickety-tin. One morning in a fit of pique, she drowned her father in the creek. The water tasted bad for a week, and they had to make do with gin, They had to make do with gin. Should I keep going? Her mother she could never stand, sing rickety-tickety-tin. Her mother she could never stand, and so a cyanide soup she planned. Her mother died with a spoon in her hand, and her face in a hideous grin. Her face in a hideous grin. I don't want to sing the next verse. Okay. No. She weighted her brother down with stones, sing rickety-tickety-tin. She weighted her brother down with stones and sent him off to Davy Jones. All they ever found were some pieces of bone, and occasional pieces of skin, occasional pieces of skin. Oh, I can't sing the next verse. And when at last the police came by, sing rickety-tickety-tin. And when at last the police came by, her little pranks she did not deny. For to do so, she would have to lie. And lying she knew was a sin, and lying she knew was a sin. Oh, my tragic tale I won't prolong, sing rickety-tickety-tin. My tragic tale I won't prolong, and if you do not like this song, you've yourselves to blame if it's too long. You should never have let me begin. You should never have let me begin. Here's another song that a lot of you will know the chorus to, but you may not know the verse. Let's see what a good key to do this in. Up to mighty London came an Irish lad one day. All the streets were paved in gold and everyone was gay, singing songs of Piccadilly, Strand and Leicester Square, till Paddy got excited and he shouted to them there. Do you know what the song is? It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest gal I know. So long Piccadilly, farewell Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. Paddy wrote a letter to his Irish Molly-O, saying, should you not receive it, write and let me know. If I make mistakes in spelling, Molly dear, said he, remember it's the pen that's bad, don't lay the blame on me. It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest gal I know. So long Piccadilly, farewell Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there. Molly wrote a neat reply to Irish Paddy-O, saying Mike Maloney wants to marry me, and so leave the Strand and Piccadilly or you'll be to blame, for love has fairly drove me silly, hoping you're the same. Now you'd think we were going to go right back into It's a Long Way to Tipper. The British soldiers that were serving in World War I, many of them had served in France, and many of them had had affairs with French women. And when they got a hold of this song, they changed the lyrics from It's a Long Way to Tipperary to That's the Wrong Way to Tickle Mary. And the chorus became, don't worry, the kids are safe. That's the wrong way to tickle Mary, that's the wrong way to kiss. Don't you know that over here, lads, they like it more like this? Hooray pour les Français, farewell Angleterre. Didn't know the way to tickle Mary, but learned over there. Thank you. The same person, Chauncey Alcott, that we mentioned earlier, who had written help me. I'm having a senior moment. When Irish Eyes Were Smiling. Also wrote, my wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows. You may search everywhere, but none can compare to my wild Irish rose. My wild Irish rose, the dearest flower that grows. And someday for my sake, she may let me take the bloom for my wild Irish rose. Thank you. McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in number, we're the finest in the land. Oh, we play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play at funerals, we play the March of Saul. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute, and the music is something grand. A credit to all Ireland is McNamara's band. I should be playing this next part on trumpet. Ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba. I can do it on trumpet. Next verse. I can't get back there fast enough. Right now we are rehearsing for a very swell affair. The annual celebration, all the gentry will be there. When General Grant to Ireland came, he took me by the hand. He said, I've never seen the likes of McNamara's band. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute, and the music is something grand. A credit to all Ireland is McNamara's band. Oh, my name is Uncle Julius, and from Sweden I have come to play in McNamara's band and bang the big bass drum. As we go marching down the street, the ladies think it's grand. They say I've never seen a Swede in McNamara's band. Oh, the drums go banging, the cymbals clanging, the horns they bang away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute, and the music is something grand. A credit to all Ireland is McNamara's band. Now the rest of it's not that good. Okay.
Did you improvise the Swedish part?
No, it's part of the song. It ends with, well, I wear a bunch of shamrocks and a uniform of green. Hey, I'm the funniest looking Swede that you had ever seen. You can't write stuff like that now. There's Ryans, O'Briens, and Sheehan's and Meehan's, they come from Ireland. But by Yemeni, I'm the only Swede in McNamara's band. So much stuff you can't, I don't know. I was toying with the idea of putting together an hours-long program of songs that would get you in trouble now. It does sound like fun. Except you have to know who your audience is. Okay. My mother used to sing this song to me when I was a little kid. Over in Killarney, many years ago, my mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way. And I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me today. Toora-lora-lora, toora-lora-lai, toora-lora-lora. Hush now, don't you cry. Toora-lora-lora. That's an Irish lullaby. Oft in dreams I wander to that cot again. I feel her arms a-hugging me as when she held me then. And I hear her voice a-humming to me as in days of yore, when she used to rock me fast asleep outside the cabin door. Toora-lora-lora, toora-lora-lai, toora-lora-lora. Hush now, don't you cry. Toora Yes.
Do you have any Kleenex?
Oh. I have an unused handkerchief.
Keep it.
Okay. Oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies got stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday. Nobody knew they were there. So I was worrying about singing this song and half the audience knows it. That's great. Now the first was the wife of a deacon from Dover, and though she was known as a bit of a rover, she liked it so much that she thought she'd stay over, and nobody knew she was there. Oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies were stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday. Nobody knew they was there. Now the next was the Bishop of Chichester's daughter, who went in to pass some superfluous water. She pulled on the chain and the rising tide got her, and nobody knew she was there. And it's oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies were stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday. Nobody knew they were there. The next old gal was Abigail Humphrey, who settled inside just to make herself comfy. Then she found out she could not get her bum free, and nobody knew she was there. And it's oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies were stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday. I'm in the wrong key. Okay, I'm not going to sing the next verse. The next old lady was old Mrs. Draper. She went in to find there was no paper. The only thing there was a bricklayer's scraper, and nobody knew she was there. And it's oh dear, what can the matter be? 7 old ladies got stuck in the lavatory. They were there from Sunday till Saturday. Nobody knew they were there. The last old lady was old Mrs. Mason. She had to go quick, so she went in the basin, and that was the water that I washed me face in, and nobody knew there was Okay. I started the program. Actually, I was going to say I started with a Gaelic blessing that was tongue-in-cheek. There's a beautiful one that I'll end with, but I'm going to play God Bless America as the last song. God Bless America also has a verse that never seems to get played. The song was written in 1918 by Irving Berlin. It didn't become huge until Kate Smith started singing it in the 30s. And then when World War II was breaking out in Europe, the story goes that Kate Smith called Irving Berlin and said, horrible things are happening in Europe. Could you write a verse to God Bless America that tells us Americans how lucky we are that we don't have bombs falling on our heads? And he wrote this. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful to a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her with the light from above, through the mountains and to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Couple of blessings. May love and laughter light your days and warm your heart and home. May good and faithful friends be yours wherever you may roam. May peace and plenty bless your world with joy that long endures. May all life's passing seasons bring the best to you and yours. And the next one is probably, I've heard this over and over and over again through the years. May the road rise to meet you. May the sun always be in your face. May the wind always be at your back. And may you be half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. Thank you all so much for coming this afternoon. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful to a land so fair as we raise our voices in a song.